I'm Warshaw, a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator. I own and operate Hope Warshaw Associates, a consultancy in diabetes nutrition, now based in Asheville, North Carolina, USA. I've been involved in diabetes care and education for just over 40 years, and I've attended many ADA scientific session meetings over the years, but never a virtual meeting. ADA did an admirable job pulling off this virtual meeting with minimal time. One of the valuable aspects for the session attendees was the ability to converse with speakers and other attendees in the chat box within sessions. This capability added to learning and collegiality. One of the two sessions I moderated this year was titled Maximizing Long-Term Weight Loss Maintenance with Lifestyle Changes. I'll focus on this session. This is a really important topic, knowing that the majority of people with diabetes and type 2 diabetes have overweight or obesity, and at this point, nearly half of people with type 1 diabetes in the US. We have spent huge amounts of research dollars and time searching for the best eating plan for people with diabetes and pre-diabetes, but we've spent scant time on what I believe should be this very important question: how can we optimally assist people at risk for and with diabetes who have lost weight to maximize long-term weight loss maintenance with lifestyle changes? This session had 4 preeminent speakers at the symposium. They addressed 4 topics critical to long-term weight loss maintenance in their areas of expertise, and I'll share each of their key messages. The first speaker was Dr. Michael Rosenbaum, currently Professor of Pediatrics and Medicine and Associate Program Director at Columbia in New York City. His area of expertise and his topic was overcoming physiologic changes from weight loss. His key messages were: the actions that one needs to take to lose weight are not the same as those actions needed for long-term weight maintenance. This is in part because people's metabolism changes with weight loss and is not the same after weight loss. Dr. Rosenbaum and others' research shows that people need about 300 to 350 fewer calories a day than a person needed to originally maintain that weight. In addition to these metabolic changes, there are changes in the brain's response to food. They have less ability to manage food and eating situations, and also a decreased perception of how much they ate. So weight loss maintenance treatment has to be for long-term, for someone's lifetime. No research suggests that people get to a new steady state. And this really doesn't seem to be different. Rosenbaum made this point based on the type of eating plan that a person follows to lose weight. The second speaker was Colin Greaves. He is a professor of psychology applied to health at University of Birmingham in the UK. His research focuses on the development and evaluation of health behavior change interventions, including studies on weight loss and diabetes prevention. Dr. Greaves and his team have developed a conceptual model of the dynamics of weight loss maintenance. He also refers to this as the tension theory of weight loss maintenance. The model portrays the chronic tension between relapse and maintenance. It notes that sources of tension as triggers for relapse, and conversely details strategies to reduce and manage this tension. Modifiers of tension are listed around the outside of the model, and are reasons why a weight relapse may occur. Using this model potentially as a shared decision-making tool, clinicians can, with their clients, focus their efforts on 3 key strategies to reduce and manage the tensions between relapse and weight loss maintenance. Greaves suggests clinicians focus on 3 key strategies. One is changes that minimize the tension. And Dr. Greaves said that the phrase, "make changes that you can live with," has become his team's mantra. Number 2 is diffuse sources of tension, asking people, how else might you address that need? And the third being address tension in context. So when that tension is at its strongest, and you can help people strategize ways to have a sense of control over their eating behavior. Our third speaker on this panel was Dr. James Hill. His topic was the essential role of physical activity in weight loss maintenance. And Dr. Hill is one of the world's foremost experts in obesity and weight management. He is currently at the University of Alabama in Birmingham in the US. He talked about how physical activity counters many of the physiologic responses to reduction in body weight that Dr. Rosenbaum, our first speaker, spoke about. And it is the action or the group of those actions that people can take to counter the metabolic changes that occur. Dr. Hill also talked about physical activity optimizing many of the metabolic processes and offers the person increased metabolic flexibility. I interpret that as just a little more wiggle room with their calorie intake. In today's world where our burning of calories is impaired by our lifestyles, being physically active is essential for long-term maintenance. In regards to how much physical activity is necessary, there's data from the National Weight Control Registry, and we'll talk more about that. That's the topic our last speaker covered. But the National Weight Control Registry was initiated about 30 years ago, and Dr. Hill was the initiator of this registry along with Dr. Rena Wing, who is at Brown University. Dr. Hill said, from looking at the registry, they see that about 93% of people exercise about 60 minutes a day. People need to do all types of physical activity, aerobic physical activity, resistance training, and also being less sedentary. Less screen time is a good example about that. In the question and answer period, Dr. Hill noted that physical activity is important during weight loss because it favors the preservation of lean body mass, but it doesn't really aid weight loss per se. He says it prepares you for weight loss maintenance by instilling habits and lifestyle that must prevail long-term to control weight. Dr. Graham Thomas was our last speaker, and he spoke in detail about the National Weight Control Registry, which I mentioned. Dr. Thomas is an associate professor and associate director of the Brown University and Miriam Hospital Weight Control and Diabetes Research Center. He also oversees the day-to-day activities of the National Weight Control Registry. Dr. Thomas provided some background on the registry, which, as I noted, dates back to the mid-1990s. Drs. Hill and Dr. Wing initiated the registry with the goal of identifying successful weight loss maintainers and to describe their successful strategies to keep pounds off. To enter the registry, a person must have lost at least 30 pounds and maintain that weight loss for at least a year. Today, there are over 10,000 people in the registry. I always encourage clinicians who have clients that they think might qualify for the registry to enter. The website is nwcr.ws. And speaking of the website, people can find the long list of publications that the registry has published over the years on that website. One paper I refer to from the registry is based on the self-reported data from about 3,000 individuals from the registry who had been in for at least 10 years. And from this data, the researchers identified 5 predictors of success. And they were magnitude of initial weight loss and duration, increased physical activity, low calorie and low fat food consumption, high restraint around food, and low disinhibition around food. People also self-weighed several times a week. And a key point here is that continued adherence to each of these behaviors improves long-term outcomes. I particularly found interesting in Dr. Graham's discussion, I should say, sorry. I particularly found interesting a point in Dr. Graham Thomas's discussion about the use of acceptance and commitment theory, or ACT, as a means to help people refocus their values and identity. This includes values clarification, values commitment, and acceptance strategies. Dr. Graham Thomas talked about the principles of ACT being compassion, non-judgmental, and founded on acceptance. This content really spoke to me, just like the tension theory that Dr. Greaves discussed. In conclusion, I would encourage people, if they have access, to watch this program. It is important content presented by a number of renowned experts. I personally hope that it stimulates other programs and further discussion of this very important topic, particularly critical in prediabetes and diabetes management today. Thank you.